What is up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the J. Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Now, as you guys know, this week we are doing our werewolf theme. And before I dive in and review the film that I've picked, I just want to thank Chris Brock for filling in for me yesterday. Obviously, you guys know I do my videos here on Monday. But yesterday was my uncle's birthday, and he really wanted me to stay all night with him, so I went down there and hung out with my uncle yesterday. And yeah, so I just want to thank Chris for filling in for me. Obviously, next week we'll be back on schedule. I will be on Mondays, and Chris will be on Tuesdays. But so yeah, so we're doing the werewolf theme this week, which surprisingly we've never done here on Late Night Frights before. I know that I've talked about quite a few werewolf films before on the channel. Such as An American Werewolf in London and Silver Bullet, my two favorite werewolf films of all time. And instead of talking about those films again, you guys know how I feel about both of them, I decided to talk about another one that I've never talked about before here on Late Night Frights, and it is Ginger Snaps.
For two sisters.
Together forever. United against life as we know it.
With an appetite for the macabre.
I'm slitting my throat. You should definitely hang.
All it takes is one night. And one bite.
Let's get out of here. What was it? A big dog, maybe?
Did I change last night? Howl at the moon?
Ginger's changing.
How do you feel? Wicked. They're just being normal teenage girls. I'm not dying!
She's gone.
Ginger snaps and bites.
We're almost not even related anymore.
Okay, so Ginger Snaps was made in 2000. It was directed by John Fawcett, starring Emily Perkins and Catherine Isabel. And basically it's about these two sisters, Bridget and Ginger, and they are just very weird, very odd teenagers. You know, they're outcasts, they don't talk to anyone, they keep to themselves, and they're best friends. And they made this pact that when they turn 16, I believe, they are going to basically kill themselves and go out of the world together. Ginger is 16, Bridget is 15, and they're obsessed with death. You know, that is a point that's made throughout the entire film. They're obsessed with death. I mean, they take pictures of themselves in different death positions, and it's pretty crazy, like the opening of the film with all the death positions and everything that they do. And you can definitely tell that they are looked at, and everyone knows that they're really weird and really off, and they make fun of them. So they're just basically close-knit sisters. They love to be around each other, and they're best friends. Throughout the film, you see that they really don't argue too much, and yeah, they're just very close and very awkward. So as the film progresses, we see Bridget and Ginger. They're walking through the woods. I'm not going to say why, but they're walking through the woods, and out of nowhere, what looks to be a werewolf comes out and just attacks Ginger, just out of nowhere. And for the rest of the film, we can see that Ginger is slowly turning into a werewolf, and her transformation from being this weird teen to being this very deadly teen. And Bridget really has to try to save her sister, and she has to try to make everything right again. And that's the basis of the film. I don't want to go into in depth anymore on it. I don't want to say, you know, what happens. I don't want to spoil anything with it other than the basic plot and what you would know anyway, that it is a werewolf film. And yeah, I really like the acting in this. I think that Emily Perkins, who played Bridget, was just really weird, and I thought she did a really good job playing that character. Also, Catherine Isabel, who played Ginger, did a really good job, and some of the other cast members as well. The Burnout, Pothead did a really good job. I can't think of his name right now, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, and the whole film itself had this very eerie and just ominous tone to it. It was very dark, and I could tell that right off the bat, from the opening of the film to the end of the film. I really liked the film style of it. All the shots that it got. Yeah, it's basically all I can say about it, other than I really did enjoy it. And it's not my favorite werewolf film. My favorite werewolf film is An American Werewolf in London. It's just it always has been, and it always will be. But it's definitely up there. I do think it's underrated. I think it should be, people should check it out. Definitely pick it up if you haven't already. This is the Scream Factory version of it, and check that out. That's a badass cover art. I really like that new artwork. It's just got a very dark and very plain and simple, look to it, but it says so much at the same time. So I really do enjoy this film a lot more than I did the first watch. The first time I remember seeing it, I was probably about 10 or 11, maybe a little bit older, maybe 12, and I enjoyed it, but not as much as I did the second time around. And yeah, really enjoyed Ginger Snaps, and it's definitely a good werewolf film. And even if you don't like werewolf films, there's still other aspects to it. But yeah, it's a good horror film in general. Not great, not perfect. It has its flaws, but it is, it's very good. So I would have to say, definitely check out Ginger Snaps if you haven't already. And if you're into werewolf films in general, check it out. It's a good film. So there's my review over Ginger Snaps.